From giving Zacian and Zamazenta 13 legendary wolf siblings with different type-themed weapons, to making Mimikyu mimic the most popular Pokemon of every type, not just Pikachu, and a collection of Sinistea that represent a different beverage for every type, it's safe to say we've made some crazy Pokemon type challenges. So I figured it'd be fun to put all 220 of them into one video. So without further ado, what if there was a legendary bird Pokemon of every type? Quattro is a water flying type that causes giant rainstorms with the flaps of its wings. Toxinco drops a poisonous liquid from above with its pelican-like bill. Stisace uses its razor-sharp metal wings to slice and dice foes. Inciekj is easily the strangest of the legendary birds because it's a bug-type buzzing buzzard. Oricho is a rock-type legendary bird who's extremely fast, but only on the ground. Normueve is a normal type with a color palette based on the stellar type. Drakiez is the most powerful of the legendary birds and also the most ill-tempered. Cosmonsei is a cosmic type whose wings are made to blend in with the starry night sky. Devosei is said to infatuate anyone who looks at it. Trisei whips razor-sharp leaves at opponents from afar. And while Tectorsei is constantly shrouded in sand, Colfinsei is said to be a bad omen as it will appear right before your demise. And while the legendary birds are awesome, my favorite legendary group of all time is the Regi. So what if they had a member of every type? Like Regibug, which was crafted by Regigigas to be a protector of Earth's ecosystem. Regidark is a demonic Regi that's said to go after all those who have hatred in their heart. Regipsychic is incredibly intelligent to the point where legend says if you ever catch one, it will grant you some of its intelligence, turning you into a genius. Regifire was made by Regigigas to give flame to humanity. Regighost is said to guide lost souls to the afterlife. Regifighting is a little disturbing because it's a giant golem made out of nothing but muscle tissue. Regiwater was made to be a protector of the Earth's oceans, which means it's got a lot of surface area to worry about. Regigrass serves as a guardian against deforestation, with some saying it even speaks to and for the tree. Regifairy is completely made out of candy and is said to bring pure joy to anyone who lays eyes on it. Regifly can also be seen guiding lost souls to the afterlife, but it appears where it's going is a much better place. And Regiground was made to be a protector of the Earth's beaches, ensuring our fun in the sun. And now that the fan service for the old school fans is done, let's do something for the new school Pokemon fans by making a Charadet Evo for every type. Like Trendigo, a fire-water type that wields a trident made out of pure flame. Rosé carries a staff with a slingshot on the end. Jawteal fires attacks from a mighty dragon's maw. Clawamber has giant claws which it can slash foes with or dig underground. Plumstingare injects foes with a high-temperature venom with its scorpion tail. Flatax dual wields flaming axes. Whippold has a flaming vine whip. Fistarmine has two disconnected fiery fists. Fanvindor can simultaneously light foes on fire and fan the flame. Sepagius has an extremely durable molten rock shield. Xanthro is a lightning archer so destructive it would make Zeus jealous. Blanc is a very paradoxical Pokemon as it wields flames and ice simultaneously. Greymorang is the normal type evolution and has a giant high temperature boomerang. But Noir Slayer easily has the most aura out of all the evolutions with its built-in fiery cape and sword arm. And now that we put Charadet in a bunch of different types of armor, let's now put Mimikyu in a bunch of different disguises by seeing what it would look like if it mimicked a Pokemon of every type, not just the electric Pikachu. Mimazard wants to be selected, so it mimicked the most popular starter Pokemon. Mimav will be loved by trainers until they try to expose it to an evolution stone and nothing happens. Mimicario fires out Shadow Balls and pretends they're Aura Spheres. Mimicross really hopes nobody tries to actually ride it on the water. Mimavile heard this was the most popular starter middle stage. Mimatu is angling for its own movie. Mimicross noticed that nobody likes any of the bug types except this one. Mimitar spins in a circle and throws dirt around and pretends it just started a sandstorm. Mimachomp is trying to make its way onto Cynthia's team, and I don't blame it at all. Mimigia really hopes Ho-Oh doesn't show up. Mimafairy heard that this was Ash's partner in the manga. Mimafing is trying to be selected by Team Rocket. Mimanite could be on Lance's team. He doesn't have any real dragon types anyway. Mimagros is easily its heaviest disguise. Mimigar balances itself on a stick and pretends to be levitating. Mimabreon is trying to make its way onto an expensive Pokemon card. And Mimaswine is now forced to live in frozen tundras. But don't worry, it's got plenty of blankets under there. But Mimikyu isn't the only really cool Pokemon from Sun and Moon, because Wishywashy has one of the most unique mechanics we've ever seen. But what if that mechanic was on more than a water-type fish? Like Woolly Woo, a small normal-type sheep that clumps together to make an intimidating ram. Stalatala is a tiny reptile that forms a giant dinosaur. Shrubby Chubby is a little plant that becomes a giant creepy scarecrow. Penguipin combines together to make a royal emperor penguin. Criticrit combines to make an ant so large you'll think you've shrunk. Brickrock is a singular brick that form an impenetrable fortress. Shrimpwimp is a fighting type shrimp that hits super hard when they form into this giant lobster. Witty Squiddy is actually a very stupid Pokemon. But when they combine together, their collective intelligence forms one of the smartest Pokemon in the world. Ribbit is a poisonous frog that can hop small distances, but can combine together to get a jumping power so incredible it can jump from Kanto and end up in Johto. Pixie Pillar is a tiny caterpillar that takes evolution into their own hands by forming into an illustrious butterfly. Wormy Squirmy goes from a worm with an O to a worm with a Y. Scary Wary is a nervous little ghost who can combine together to scare away intruders. Marshumar says take me to your leader and can form into a giant UFO to force you to. Holy Roly is a decently durable steel type, but when they combine together, they become absolutely indestructible. Dusty Fussy is a dust bunny in the literal sense that can create a living sandstorm rabbit. And Ratty Patty is a dark type rodent that forms not a rat king, but the king of the rats. Jelly Jolty has low voltage until they combine together and can light up the entire sea floor. And Wavy Ravy is a little bird that when combined have wings so large they cover the sun. But before we move on from Gen 7, we have to talk about the island protecting Tapu. Because just imagine how safe the Alola region would be if there was a Tapu for every type. Tapu Hina is the normal type Tapu that when fully concealed in its body resembles a bear's head. Tapu Nido is the fire type and resembles a scorching scorpion. Tapu Mono closes up in the front to resemble a baby bird. Tapu Rhino is a giant rhino's head. Tapu Pleo is the ghost type Tapu and is an ominous owl. Tapu Drac closes to resemble a dragon's maw. Tapu Baki is the fighting type and resembles a mantis face with the fist being its eyes. Tapu Niho is the dark type and resembles a hanging bat. Tapu Tala is a steel axe-armed mole. Tapu Bito is a bug type and resembles a beetle. Tapu Pekka is the ice type and is a wolf's face. Tapu Lani is the ground type and is an angsty crab. And Tapu Rana is a poison type that resembles a frog with its hair being the tongue. You know, saying all these Pokemon names sure has me thirsty. So let's fix that by making a different Sinistea of every type that all represent different beverages. Like Sinistoast, a possessed milk carton who only haunts the lactose intolerant. Sinistala is an extremely spicy hot masala tea. Sinistorrent might be the most literal water type of all time because it's just a bottle of water. Sinistato is a delicious cup of gelato. Sinistine is an absolutely jacked shaker bottle who always ensures its trainer takes their creatine. Sinistoxin is a beaker containing a dangerous chemical. Sinisthe is an earth tea literally. Sinistropic is a flying type cloud smoothie. Sinistonic is a mind-altering glass of wine which goes perfect with book reading. Sinistar is a jar of honey that annihilates allergies. Sinistmint is a rock type mineral tea. Sinistang is an electric lemonade that somehow contains even more caffeine. Sinisterior is a draconic Longjing tea that's said to bolster the fighting abilities of anyone who drinks it. Sinistretto is a dark type dark brew coffee. Sinistota is a steel type metal soda can which you better recycle. And Sinistsugar is a sweet cup of sugar lumps. And speaking of ghost types, what if Yamask could evolve into way more than just a pure ghost type or a ghost ground type? Like this psychic type version that's holding a genie's lamp and evolves into Genregus who resembles the genie itself. This water type version is made of water and is inside of an ornate pot. And its evolution Foundrygus is now a lovely waterworks. This rock type version carries a singular brick, but it evolves into Structrygus which resembles a crypt. This fighting type Yamask has possessed a boxing glove, and its evolution Boxrygus is a punching jack-in-the-box. The bug type version holds a ball of spider web, but Critrygus is the creepy crawler itself. This steel type Yamask is holding the same mask as the original but made out of metal because it evolves into the Iron Maiden inspired Maidrygus. The dragon type Yamask carries a singular dragon's tooth, and Maulrygus is a fossilized dragon's maw. The electric type Yamask holds a small orb of plasma, and it evolves into Orbrygus, which is now a giant science experiment. The dark type Yamask holds a voodoo doll, and its evolution Voorygus resembles the doll itself and has the special ability to inflict any damage it receives to the opponent as well. The poison type Yamask holds a trash can lid, and Benrygus possesses an entire trash can. The fire type Yamask holds a torch, but Bonrygus Regigigas is a raging campfire that's perfect to tell ghost stories near. The grass-type Yamask holds a singular totem, but Togeregigas is the full collection. The flying-type Yamask holds a feather and evolves into Catregigas, which resembles a dream catcher and is known to steal people's dreams while they're sleeping and turn them into nightmares. The ice-type Yamask has a snowball, and Fortregigas is a possessed igloo. The fairy-type Yamask has a little cupcake, but Laeregigas is an intricate wedding cake. And the normal-type Yamask is holding the doll that appears when you use the move Substitute, which Substregigas has completely taken over. And since we're doing creatures that possess different objects, Rotom has to be next. Because while it already has 5 forms with 5 different types, if it possessed a blender, it could get this new poison-type form that's mixing a rancid smoothie, or this steel-type chainsaw form that many of you anime fans may recognize. This normal-type version has possessed a speaker, which is perfect for walking down the school hallways with. This rock-type version is an electric guitar that only plays rock and roll music. Possessing a coffee machine will give you this dark-type form, which may just be brewing that Sinistea we saw earlier. The fighting-type Rotom has possessed a handheld game console that only plays old-school beat-em-ups. The psychic-type Rotom is a Wi-Fi router that's always getting blamed for its trainer's lack of skill. The bug-type Rotom is a bug zapper, a little messed up when you think about it. The fairy-type Rotom is a ring light, perfect for get ready with me videos. Possessing a jackhammer will give you this ground-type Rotom, but easily the strongest version is its dragon-type form, which you can only get when Rotom possesses a toy wrecking ball. And this next one is obviously going to be my personal favorite in this whole video, because while I think we can all agree that Quagsire and CLODSIRE are absolutely peak, it would be even better if there was a sire for every type. Like this puppy-themed normal-type Wooper, which evolves into Pugsire, who's obviously based on a pug. Or this grass-type Wooper, which evolves into Sodsire, which is completely made of highly potent fertilizer. This bug-type Wooper evolves into the surprisingly adorable Pinsire. And this dark-type Wooper is based on a pig because it evolves into the intimidating Boarsire. This ice-type Wooper is a little bear cub, which evolves into the polar bear-themed Polesire. This spiky steel Wooper evolves into Pokesire, who despite being covered in metal barbs is still extremely huggable. The electric Wooper evolves into the jellyfish-themed Shocksire. The ghost-type Wooper evolves into Gaunsire, which is based on a headstone. The flying-type Wooper evolves into Hootsire, which is a ground owl. The aggressive fighting-type Wooper evolves into CLODSIRE, which is a boxing heavy bag. The durable rock-type Wooper evolves into Shoresire, which has a nearly indestructible turtle shell. The fairy-type Wooper evolves into Dizire, which is said to appear on the first date of you and your soulmate. The psychic-type Wooper evolves into the completely spherical Orbsire, which is based on a future-telling crystal ball. The fire-type Wooper evolves into the reptilian Salasire, and the dragon-type Wooper evolves into Consire, the protector deity of all sires everywhere. Okay, that was awesome, but we still saved the best for last, because now we get to see what it would be like if there was a legendary wolf for every type. Like Zagare, a normal-type legendary wolf that wields a giant boomerang. Zavadיר is a flying type that launches arrows from miles away. Zaprepel wields a series of poisonous daggers. Zarawin is a rock type wielding a pickaxe. Zaringe is the ground type and wields a hammer so heavy when it slams into the ground it can cause micro-earthquakes. But Zareen is a bug type that hurls stink grenades. Zarahead sports a fiery plumage and a mace covered in molten hot spikes. While Zatil is the water type and instead chooses to fire cannons on its shoulders. Zamathest is the ghost type and has 2 soul-stealing scythes. Zayalo is the electric type and has an axe that summons lightning wherever it strikes. Zamareld appears to be dancing in battle as its movements and whip strikes are so fluid. But Zapinks is the psychic type and wields a magic scepter. Zablink is the ice type and is known for its incredibly accurate spear strikes. But Zanev doesn't have to be precise because its giant dragon head cannon destroys everything that's even close to where it aims. And Zanuar represents the dark type as a stealthy ninja with a giant shuriken. YouTube thinks that you'll like this video of some other fan-made Pokemon we've made, so if you like today's video, make sure to check out that one. And I actually only collaborated with one artist to make these Pokemon. Their name is Mazon Fakeamon, and they can be found in the description, so please go check them out. And I'll see you all in the next video, but until then, peace.